over here. That's the problem with a last-minute impromptu stream, is that sometimes the audio just acts a fool. So y'all let me know now if you can indeed hear me. So hopefully we got that fixed. I apologize for the problems. I literally took like 5 minutes and set this up. So apologize for that. I need to spend a little more time figuring out why this, like I've got to reset the audio input up every time I go live, and that's not cool. So appreciate that. Anyway, what I was talking about is a little bit of an impromptu stream. I am considering moving the Friday streams to here on Wednesday or on Thursday. I'm debating doing a stream on TikTok and then moving to YouTube maybe later in the evening on Wednesday. So maybe a 7 to 8 on TikTok and then maybe an 8 to 10 here on YouTube, something like that. Or I'm considering moving it to Thursday because Fridays, I just can't be consistent. There's always something going on Fridays, and so it's really hard to be consistent there. And I want to have a consistent stream so we can hang out. Like, I enjoy hanging out with y'all. And I appreciate all of y'all that have jumped in here. Daniel, Aaron, and Hank. Country Boy Kale in the chat. Jody hanging out. All great that y'all show up and just hang out on an impromptu stream. Saw Scott Dawkins over here, and Anthony got in here early as well. It's awesome. Whiskey Central, Shayla, appreciate it. Yeah, it's nice meeting everybody. That was a really good time. I went to, so for those that don't know, and I guess most of you don't know, I was sitting here Thursday debating whether or not I was going to the Bourbon Junkies meetup. They had a meetup up in Michigan, which is a 13-hour drive up there for me, and I was debating whether or not I was going to go. And I was sitting here, and my wife finally looked at me and she said, I don't want to hear you complaining all next week because you didn't go. And so this is Thursday night, 8 o'clock at night on Thursday night, and I got to be there Saturday. So I was like, okay, well, I'll tell you what. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to YOLO it. I'm going to go to this meetup. So I get online, and I book the hotel at like 8 o'clock. I buy my tickets at 9 p.m. for the event, and then I start checking flights. Guess what? All the flights are booked. I have to fly first class if I'm going to get there on Friday. And I didn't want to fly Saturday because if it got delayed, I would be late, and it's like an hour from the airport. So I decided, well, I'm not going to pay $2,000 for a first class flight. I'm just going to hop in the truck and go. So 9 o'clock, I've decided I'm just going to hop in the truck the next morning. So I went and got a few hours sleep, got up at 4 o'clock in the morning, drove 13 hours to get there Friday night. Had a wonderful time at the event, met a lot of great folks. If you ever get a chance to get to one of these bourbon meetups, they're really, really fun. A lot of really cool people at these things. So had a great time, did not sleep enough, stayed up late, enjoying some drinks and hanging out with folks Friday, and then did it again Saturday, and then got up early Sunday and drove all the way home. That was the 12-hour trip back without traffic because it was Sunday was a lot worse than the 13-hour trip there for sure. But it was great meeting everybody. Chevy Stout says, have I tried making my own whiskey? I have made some really bad moonshine before. I don't know if you want my tips. I'm terrible at making whiskey. I'm terrible at bartending. I'm really good at consuming. I am a professional consumer. Country Boy hanging out with me on a Thursday. Rare Breed. I almost picked up the Rare Breed today. I really did. I was looking at it in there, and I'm like, I've been filming videos all day, so I was like, I don't know if I want the proof, although I grabbed this. I don't even know what the proof is. This was like 93 proof, Widow Jane 13. So I was like, I better slow the proof down a little bit because I've been filming all afternoon, and that requires a little bit of drinking, unfortunately. Or fortunately, I guess. That's how we should look at it. Today is my birthday, and I want a nice bourbon whiskey to celebrate. Awesome, Jared. How far into your bourbon journey are you? Like, let me know, like, what's your favorite? How many different bourbons have you tried? Anthony found a bottle of Hancock's President Reserve. Yes, it is any good. Now, Hancock's, that's made by Buffalo Trace. And so it's like 88.5 proof, I believe, if memory serves me correctly. So it's a little low proof, but it's going to be kind of their mash bill number 2. So that Rock Hill Farms Blanton's kind of mash bill. It's lower proof than the rest of them. But from what I hear, now I've only had a couple of bottles of it. From what I hear, it varies greatly from bottle to bottle. I believe it's a single barrel as well. But from bottle to bottle, Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're great. But if you like that Buffalo Trace Blanton's flavor profile, you're going to enjoy that one. And they go for a pretty penny on the secondary market. Same with me, but food. There you go. I obviously eat pretty well myself. What's going on, Todd Trent? Do I like finished toasted whiskeys? Sometimes, yes. Now, the ones I like are typically harder to find. So the Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel, if you can get your hands on that, is really, really good. Michter's Toasted Barrel is exceptional, like fantastic. Outside of that, I haven't tried too many. Those are like the ones that I really love, so I gravitate toward those. Fairly new, just appreciate trying new and fun flavors. Okay. So if you're fairly new, I'm going to keep you low proof. I'm not going to get too crazy. And you didn't give me a favorite, so I'm not real sure what your flavor profile is. I would try to find like a Buffalo Trace or an Eagle Rare or something like that. If you haven't tried those, if you want something that's a little more readily available, I really like the Evan Williams Bottle and Bond, the Wild Turkey 101. If you want to try something really spectacular, higher proof, try that Wild Turkey Rare Breed that somebody was just mentioning in the chat. First YouTube stream, Jacob. What's going on? I've streamed a few times here, but usually on Fridays. But we're trying to find a day so we can be regular. Y'all let me know. Do y'all think Friday's better? Because Friday I just can't be regular. So I'm thinking maybe Thursday, or I'm really thinking of shortening the TikTok stream that we do on Wednesdays and coming over here at like 8 o'clock on Wednesdays. Jacob, thank you. We did get the patrons set up. Excited to see how that does. I don't know. This is, we're trying very hard to create a video a day. And that is really difficult and really expensive. Like I went out today, I bought $200 worth of alcohol a day for videos that I was filming today. I didn't get them all filmed. And my wife is sitting over there giving me stink eye now because I just spent $200 on 5 videos worth of alcohol. Whiskey Central, are you doing Malort? I actually wanted to film a Malort video. We couldn't find Malort. They don't sell it here apparently, so I'm going to have to find some. Chrissy, what's going on? How are you doing? What's going on, Matthew Miles? Opinions on Bird Dog. I haven't had Bird Dog. I get a lot of comments on it on the lives on TikTok, so I might have to. Chevy likes Thursdays. Awesome. Pour an extra shot. I'm going to pour one myself here. I'm sipping on a little Widow Jane 13, which is really good. My wife's Old Fashioned over there I made for her smells really good. I can smell it from here.
It's really good.
I've also got this Hirsch 8-year that I've never opened. We're going to try that. I am in Alabama, Whiskey Central. So basically right across the Georgia state line in Alabama. A Baker's 12-year. Nice. I have not tried that. I bet that's delicious. On Friday, I got to work in the woods, and my dad is usually here on Fridays, so Thursday is better for me. Fantastic, man. What do you do, country boy, if you're working in the woods? Yeah, Matthew, it was a good time. $200 on booze or a car. No, I'm still working on the car. The guy was not there for the Lincoln. He was not in Michigan. The car was in Detroit. If he had been there, I'd have probably bought it. So I'm waiting on him. He was out of town on vacation. He's supposed to send me some pictures this weekend when he's back with the car of some different things that I want to know a little more about before I turn around and make another trip to Michigan to buy the thing. So we'll see if the car turns out to be as good as it appears. Hopefully we can come to terms. He's going to have to come off the price a little bit, but we'll see. Right? If not that one, I'll find another. But the more I spend on cars, the more I spend on booze, the less I can spend on cars, which is the problem. Like, that's a problem for me. My cars eat into my bourbon budget. My bourbon budget eats into my cars. So I may have to quit one, or we got to get the Patreon going. Like, one of those. Like, it's up, but, like, there's not real great benefits yet. We got to figure that out. Do they still sell the Hancocks? They do, but it's like a limited release. Like, I have never seen Hancocks in a store. The only place I've gotten mine from is like the Lottery in Alabama, so they're really limited release. I see more Rock Hill Farms than Hancocks. Now, I'm not saying they make more Rock Hill Farms than Hancocks, but they're really hard to come by. Not too close to Chattanooga. I came through Chattanooga on the way here, so like Chattanooga would be north, and so with me, you're going to come down to Atlanta. From Chattanooga, you're going to come down 75 and over 85 into Alabama. So I'm about halfway down the state, north to south. Bush hog and cut trees, man. You sound like me growing up for sure. If you had to give Evan Williams Bottle and Bond a rating out of 10, so now and it's funny, the reviews I did today, we're trying to have a little more fun with the reviews. There's so many folks out there doing great bourbon reviews. Do y'all really need another guy that just sits here and tells you it tastes like tobacco and oak and, vanilla butterflies and, Red Hots and, Mike and Ike's? Like, do you really need somebody to give you crazy tasting notes? Probably not. So we're trying to, make it a little more entertaining. So with our review we did today, we tried it neat. We tried it with water. I tried it over ice, and I actually mixed it with Pepsi. Just to see, what it tastes like. Just try to make it a little more entertaining and fun. So it depends on how you're drinking it. So this rating I'm going to give it is neat in a Glencairn, which is how I'm typically drinking my whiskey. And for me, I usually go like, if it's below a 7, I don't want to drink it. Like, there's just too many good whiskeys that are 7 or above. So like 7, and I really do it on a scale like, to 100. And if it's below 70, it's bad. 70 to 80 is going to be like a mixer for me. Like, I'd probably never drink it neat, but I keep it around for a mixer. 80 to 90 is like, okay, that's a pretty good bottle. Not exceptional. I don't always have to have it, but it's a pretty good bottle. And 90 up is like, I'll buy everyone I can get if they're reasonably priced. I would put Evan Williams Bottle and Bond probably a solid like low B, like 80, 81. So that means that it's a nice solid pour, neat in a Glencairn, like it's above that just mixer level, but it's also cheap enough to be a really good mixer. So Chrissy, I appreciate you pumping up the likes. Y'all hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, how the hell did you get here? I don't even know. Just don't put any bourbon in the gas tank of the next car. Well, we actually debated putting it in a car. One of my son had a car that he had just gotten rid of, and if he had still had that car, like, he was going to sell it for scrap. It ran. He took the transmission out of it. I was going to put it in there and see if it would run that Ford Focus, but it just didn't work out. The car got gone first, so we ended up using the lawnmower, which probably turned out better. Am I able to explain what distilleries do to bourbon when they source it from somewhere, MGP Bardstown, that makes it unique and different than someone else's? Okay, so if you buy, because a lot of people are buying MGP or something like that. So if you buy MGP, a lot of folks are blending them. So they'll buy 20-year-old and 15-year-old and 10-year-old, and they do a blend to their taste profile. Also, every barrel's a little unique and different. So you might buy one at the top of this rick house or at the bottom of that rick house, and they're going to vary. They also have several different mash bills. So MGP will have a few different mash bills that you could buy from. So you could get a different whiskey in that regard. So you could just buy it and single barrel it, and it could be different than what's out there just based on which barrel you picked from where and what mash bill. But most folks are blending it to their, and they may blend it from MGP and some other distiller to create something unique, or they're finishing it, right? They take it and they put it in a cognac barrel or something like that to finish it. So there's a lot of things you can do to bourbon after it comes out of the barrel to kind of make it interesting and unique. My parents used to grab me a bottle of Hancock's every month my freshman year of college. How long ago were you in college? That must have been a while. All the time. No, they're extremely rare these days. Not super highly sought after, right? But fairly highly. Like, if folks know what they are, they want them. I smoke my drinks. Like, I'll smoke a mixed drink, not usually just a bourbon. I rotate between woods. It's not that big of a difference to me. So right now, I think I've been smoking mine with applewood, but it's not a huge difference between woods. I think trying it 4 ways for reviews feels a good niche. Like, some folks don't drink it neat. I get that question a ton on TikTok. Like, you just drink it neat? So obviously a lot of folks don't. So I figure, why not give them a good review as well? I appreciate it there. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but we'll just show everybody your name here. So I appreciate it. I'm glad you like the shorts. We're just having a good time, right? Don't take anything too seriously. how do I feel about flippers? So folks that buy bottles and sell them, realistically, I feel like I'm a reasonable person. So I don't like it in the fact that it creates this market where bottles are super expensive and I can't get them. But realistically, isn't that just being selfish? Like I don't like it because then it makes it harder for me to get what I want. So that's being selfish. There's a market. It's supply and demand, and someone is exploiting that market. As someone who owns a small business, how can I be mad at somebody that's side hustling to try to make a few extra dollars on a market that has some arbitrage between it? So it's fine. Like, it is what it is. That's just the nature of the game. I wish, because it's illegal, they would shut it down so that I could then, get some nicer bottles, because I don't sell them. But at the same time, like, I don't hate anybody who's flipping. I don't, do what you want with your whiskey. If you want to sell it, sell it. I just wish you'd sell it cheaper to me. No more Malort. I didn't try the Malort. When I was in Michigan, they had Malort. I purposefully didn't try it because I want to do a video on it. 5 years ago, you could probably find them moderately regularly. Still kind of limited, but yeah, at least then nobody knew what they were. Regular Remus. I've got Remus, Remus Repeal Reserve in there. There's that, and there's George Remus. So I'm not sure which one you're talking about. I haven't even sipped this Widow Jane yet. I've been running my trap. You want to get on stream? No. If you're going to be giving me a hard time, you might as well jump on here. Well, Jill's sitting over there. That's a good whiskey. Not video worthy?
Nope.
Audio only?
Been working all day.
Yeah, the middle top. Mine is like a smoke top that came with a variety of wood as well. It's interesting. I just, like, smoke is not something I add a lot to. I did not do Malort and Cherry Pepsi. No, we tried lots of things in Cherry Pepsi, but not Malort. What's going on, Cheech? I appreciate you jumping over here, man. I'm looking forward to your stream next week. I did register for the birthday bourbon release. So for everybody that doesn't know, now, if you get birthday bourbon at your local stores or, your hookup or whatever, your state will still get birthday bourbon, from what I understand. I just, I don't have any inside sources, but I have heard from several folks that normally get allocated products that they are expecting birthday bourbon. But the stuff that they normally allow you to line up for at the distillery, so the stuff they would normally sell in the gift shop at the distillery, they're not going to do this year. They're going to distribute that nationwide. So even if you don't live in Kentucky, you can register for it. Now, you're going to have to drive to Kentucky to pick it up if you win, but there is a website. Just Google, or somebody can post it if they've got access to post a link. But you can go register for an Old Forester birthday bourbon. I think also Four Roses is doing it for their limited release, but I haven't registered for that one yet. So make sure you registered, right? It hurts my odds. I probably shouldn't be promoting that, but I'm sure you already know about it. Which, instead of flipping, make it into a scavenger hunt on the allocated gift clues, and that's the only way people would be allowed to buy it. The P.O. box is in my profile, Jared, so send it if you've got it, if you can get it. I'm not looking forward to it, but it seems to be a meme, and at this point, I feel like I'm pretty close to the bourbon meme king, so I feel like I need to be in on the meme. Needs a wrench in it. Yeah. Let me. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can make him a mod. Hold on just a second. I am not. We have just started over here. Let's see. How do I add a moderator right there? Cheech is now moderator. There you go. This right here is Widow Jane 13. Have you tried it?
I don't know.
I don't think you have. So it's straight bourbon whiskey, aged 13 years in American oak, and used.
Proof.
Huh?
What's the proof?
The proof is like 93 proof. It looks like.
Good for me.
Yeah. Here, come here. You're off camera right here. If you just, I gotta slide it over there. You gotta go that way. All right, Matthew. I'm gonna make you a mod as well. It's just free moderator Thursday. We're going to add all sorts of mods. Hopefully they don't start acting up. You know, sometimes you just get the wrong one and stuff gets crazy. Definitely subscribe to Mr. Cheech. Hey, if everybody's not subscribed to Cheech, y'all should. He's got a cool stream. You did get a wrench. Look at you. You're a mechanic now. You're a mechanic on this rig. Let's open this. Has anybody ever had this? Anybody ever had this Hirsch 8-year high rye bourbon? Somebody told me they were looking for a Hirsch. I bought this one, and this is probably 2-3 years ago. And it wasn't this Hirsch they were looking for. So it's just been sitting around, and I finally felt, you didn't like this?
It's weird.
Okay.
I like the initial.
Widow Jane's got a little oddity to it.
Yeah, I like.
Well, they use some George Dickel, and you don't like. I don't like George Dickel either, but this is kind of, it's kind of masked a little bit.
When I first drank it, I was like, oh, that's good. But then it hits you, and you're like, that's weird.
Yeah, this is George Dickel hitting you. I think the George Dickel's pretty well balanced in this one.
It wasn't bad at all. Like nothing was bad about it. It was just kind of like.
Yeah.
That's weird. I liked it.
Cheech has got the link in the chat there. Matthew won't act a fool. Hey, Chuck, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for hanging out. We've had a good time with the shorts. We've got to figure out how to get people to watch the long-form videos. So, you know, if y'all really want to help the channel, not everything that's a short's a long-form video, but if you see us post a long-form video, if you'll hit the like button and watch that sucker to the end, even our long videos are like 3 minutes right now, so they're not super long. But we got to get those going. That's where YouTube starts to give you a little bit of revenue and stuff. So we gotta figure that out. We do have one that's doing pretty well right now. We'll see if it takes off. Yeah, Cheech is on top of it, Daniel. Cheech is on top of it. Man, I had a great time at the meetup this past weekend, and I see a lot of familiar names in the chat there. So it was great hanging out with everybody. Have y'all cracked? I haven't cracked open that store pick yet, though. The Bourbon Junkies pick, huh? I did. Would you go? It's got a red label. It's on the bar on the close to the Buffalo, I think. You know, on the bottom of the bar there. It's got a Bourbon Junkie sticker on the side of it. I will pop that sucker open. I haven't given that a try yet. I actually ended up with several bottles from that. Not bottles of that, but like the last night, like Saturday night, folks were just handing me bottles saying, here, take this. I guess they didn't want to fly home with open bottles. I don't really know. This Hirsch is not wonderful. It's not wonderful. Do what? It should be. I think it's on the, that wood rail I just had made for the bar. Yeah, it's got a sticker on the side. I think the label's red. It hasn't been opened. Small batch Hirsch, 8 years, high rye. Yeah, at this point, I wished I just hadn't opened that. I mean, I don't know what I would have done with it if I hadn't opened it, but it's not special. Where did I get this glass? This is a Norlan's glass, so Norlan. And some friends gave these to me. I got some partners of us at work. I got 2 sets of these within a week from folks. I'd like them. I don't love them. The aged, what is it? Aged in ore glasses. Cheech, if you got a link to the aged in ore glasses that we got at the Bourbon Junkies thing, that would be helpful as well. I really like those more so than this, and I like Glencairn's a lot better than this. What's going on, Hanging AZ? You don't see it? Okay. I don't even remember what bottle it was. What was the name of the bottle? Does anybody remember? What was the name of the bottle we got at the meetup? Aged in ore, yeah. Those were really nice. Really nice. A Blue Run High Rye Whiskey Sour. That sounds delicious. That sounds, I mean, I like that High Run. I need to mix it. It's kind of a pricey bottle to be mixing, but you got to do something with them. What's my best video so far? You talking about the long form videos? I don't know if I would pick one. The tasting notes videos obviously do really well. So if you've seen the tasting notes shorts, we have to cut out so much to get those under 60 seconds. So the long forms of the tasting notes are probably the best ones. We're just playing around, having a good time. Those are obviously really fun. Those are the ones folks are responding to the most anyway. Aged in ore. There you go. That's a good glass. I will end up buying some of those for sure. Hey, it's a Pingree. It's Mayor Pingree, Jill. Yeah, Pingree. You see, it's got a Bourbon Junkie sticker on the side. Yep. Found it. Thank you, babe. Baker's 12. Yeah, I need a Baker's 12. So this is the bottle they gave you. It's got my nice Bourbon Junkie sticker. I should have got them to autograph it, but I don't really care about autographs, especially on a bottle that I'm going to empty. Let's see if we can get this guy open. I really like Baker's. I've got Baker's 7 in there, but I don't think I've had a Baker's 12. Yeah, the Pingree, Mayor Pingree bourbon whiskey. I have no idea. This is from Valentine Distilling in Detroit, where they had the VIP event on Friday night. So this is a local Detroit bourbon. Let's hear that cork pop. Oh, that was weak, soft, Lord. So I have a good time with the cork pops on the. I have a good time with the cork pops on my bourbon reviews. And one of the most common comments I get are like, what's the deal with the cork pop? Like, why does it need to have a good cork pop? It doesn't. It just sounds good. It makes me feel good. I like my cork pops, dang it. I want it like champagne. I want that cork to pop and shoot across the room. It means nothing. It does not mean at all. No. But I want a good, I don't want like a wet cork pop. Like that one just kind of had a splat.
Now I think it matters.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't. It matters not.
Does it matter at all how good the bourbon is?
I don't think so. No. I mean, there may be some science, but I think it's got something to do with whether or not the cork is wet. Like this one probably got turned over on its side, so it had a wet cork pop, and how tight the cork is. And whether or not it's a real cork or a synthetic cork, like what is this one?
At this point, I think
that's a full synthetic cork. That's why.
The better the cork pop, the better the bourbon.
Probably. That's how we should just judge it. We shouldn't even taste it. We should just judge it on the cork pop.
Right?
Yeah, I think so.
Because at this point, weak cork pop.
Pingree was actually the mayor of Detroit back in the 1800s. That's pretty cool. So if you're wanting to know why it's called that, they stole some guy's name and slapped it on a bottle. Just like most of the distillers out there. Hey, this guy used to work here. Let's put out a bottle and let's name it after him.
Put his name on it.
Now, I've seen a Baker's 13, yeah. But I haven't tried it. So this one is, Chicha saying, this one is a blend of 3 barrels, 1 sourced MGP, and 2 from Valentine Distillery. So kind of answers, the question that was asked earlier, right? It's MGP, and then they blend their own stuff in. And so if your own stuff sucks, this is a great way. Or if you get the really shitty bottles from MGP or barrels from MGP, then you mix your good stuff in and you can, kind of extend your yield a little bit. I'm not saying that's what they did. Probably not. All of it was probably really good. I'm just saying that's an idea if I make really bad whiskey, because people are like, if I make really bad whiskey, I'm going to buy MGP, I'm going to blend my stuff with it.
Way to go.
All right. I think we're caught up on the chat. So what's everybody drinking? Let me know. How many folks we got on this stream? We got 28 folks. That's pretty good for an impromptu stream on YouTube. What do you need?
Your drink.
Oh, you want to try it? Okay. Well, you just got to use your words. Use your words like a big boy.
I'm not a boy.
Man. It's been a long day.
Smells good.
Rob, I have not yet bought the Lincoln. And I appreciate everybody asking, because my wife thinks it's a bad idea. And then I come in here and everybody's asking about the Lincoln. Like, y'all let me know in the chat. Is buying the Lincoln a good idea or a bad idea? 1970 Lincoln Continental. It is like a light yellow, pastel yellow, coupe, black heart. It's a black vinyl top, full black vinyl top. All the upgrades and options. I think it's got black interior, but I'm still waiting on the pictures. Like, y'all let me know. Like, she thinks it's a bad idea, but then y'all come in here and ask,
Not say it was a bad
and now she's
idea.
starting to think like, hey, people might really like this Lincoln. This might be good.
This is good.
It's pretty good. Russell's 10, McKenna 10, Wild Turkey 101 Rye, Lucky 7. I haven't had the Lucky 7 6-year proprietor. Penelope Architect is good. Bullet. Man, y'all have got some great pours. I think Rob says it's a good idea. Daniel says buy the Lincoln. Buy it and do a live stream from it and you can write it off. I'm just going to, that's probably, I don't know how legal that is. But like we could go on road trips and film it, right? Cheech says buy the Lincoln. Chrissy says buy the Lincoln. Chrissy and them live, they live on 20 Mile, okay?
What's 20 Mile?
Have you seen Eminem's 8 Mile?
Yeah.
Well, that's 12 miles past that. I mean, it's funny and true.
Funny and true?
So they live 20 Mile. I got her number. I'm going to text her. She said I can just leave it at her house. If I buy it, will you just go pick it up? If I just wired it out of money, can I just have you go pick it up and then I just fly up to your house and drive it home? Is that, we work something out there? Ruling our quail hunting group. What would Doc Holliday do? I don't know, but he is most definitely my huckleberry. Angels Envy Rye. Gotta love some sweetness. Nice. That is awesome. Buy the Lincoln and you'll be happy. I'm going to be happy regardless, but I'll be happier with a Lincoln. It is a boat, and it's a coupe. So it's like the dumbest car ever. It is 20 feet long with 2 doors, and it's hilarious, and I love everything about it.
That's good.
Was I wrong about the Junkies meetup? Buy the Lincoln. No, you were not wrong, Cheech. Cheech is the one taught me. You gave me the final push, but Cheech is the one that had me second guessing my not going. He's the one. I jumped on his live stream after the Junkie stream. What is it? Tuesday, I think. And then I'm like, the Junkie stream was nice, and then Cheech's stream was nice. So when I was down here all night Tuesday, and I said I jumped on somebody's stream, is his stream I was on. And so he had me second guessing, and then you gave me the push. But he was most definitely right. Hey, Matthew says he'll pick it up for me. They'll go pick up the Lincoln. I just fly up to their house and grab the thing.
That was good.
You want more?
No, but that was
Okay,
good.
this is good.
I would have more another night.
Alex here. What do we need to do? What do we need to buy you so that I can get the Lincoln?
Me? Oh, well.
1910, Jody. Good call there. That's a good bottle. What's up, Lopez? Chrissy said they pick it up. Matthew pick it up. Everybody's gonna pick it up. I may never see it. They may just take it. That may gave me a wrong number. I ain't really tested it. I don't know if this one has an 8-track or not. I hope it does.
No one is on
That would
my
be awesome.
side.
Because if it has an 8-track, I'm gonna have to buy some 8-tracks.
Nobody's on my side. Everybody's on
Join
my
his
side.
Patreon. Todd, the Patreon would help a whole bunch. Like I'm like halfway there, and I got to kind of like borrow the rest of in my little slush fund of money to spend on dumb things. I'm like halfway there, and I got to kind of like borrow the rest of it from the house from savings, which is the only reason it ain't already been. Well, not the only reason. I'm still waiting. What?
Only reason? No, just even if it was just your fun, you still need to run that past me.
I'm not ready for this conversation at this particular. You're right.
Thank you.
Yes,
I'm right.
she's right.
That's a big slush fund purchase.
It is a big slush fund, but if it's a big slush fund,
You
so
don't got that much in your slush fund, so.
if the Patreon could pay for it, I don't like. Listen. If I'm not trying to talk you into the Patreon, if you don't do those things, it's cool. It's fine. But if you do join the Patreon, I promise to always spend your donations in the dumbest way possible. Okay, I will spend them on the dumbest crap. We will be buying vans and Lincolns, and we will be taking road trips, and we will be taking really expensive bourbons and mixing it with Pepsi. Like we are not going to be responsible with it. Bardstown Discovery Series 8 was one of the ones they were pouring at the meetup. It was really good. Yes, Daniel says if you jumped on stream, people may join your side.
Well, I have
She was
done.
not. She doesn't want to. She's been working really hard. She had some friends of ours just had a family member get out of the hospital, and she has been cooking food for them all day. And so she doesn't feel like being on camera, and she looks like a very gorgeous mess.
I've been cooking
Oh.
pork chops and salmon and lasagna all day.
They had a freaking buffet. Like we ate like We ate leftover chicken fingers, but no, I'm just kidding. She did good. You did good. She cooked a good dinner. Maybe next time. She's jumped on stream with me a couple times on TikTok. I think she was on the first YouTube stream we did here as well. But yeah, polish. It's always sad when a bottle of Owa gets polished, Ryan. It's always a little sad. Todd, like normally, sometimes she'll jump on here, but she's got to like have notice. Like I was sitting upstairs like I should stream tonight because I can't stream tomorrow. So I was like, I should stream Thursday. Like we need to test because Fridays are really irregular for me. I'm not sure I can be consistent on Friday. So we're thinking about moving it to either Wednesday or Thursday. We do Wednesday on TikTok now. And I'm thinking about just shortening that to an hour, limiting it to an hour. I can't talk today, by the way. Some of my videos took like 4 takes in there because I can't talk today. But we're thinking about limiting the TikTok to an hour and then coming here 2 hours, like 8 to 10 on Wednesdays, or doing it here on Thursdays. Now, I don't know when everybody else streams. I know there's a lot of cool bourbon live streams. I don't want to step on anybody's toes. So we've got to find a time. So it was very last minute. I was like, let's do it because we can't do it tomorrow. I literally set this up 15 minutes before we went live, and she wants a little more notice than that. Yeah. I'd like a little more barbecue. I have 3 smokers grills at the house. Gonna make that happen. Just add bourbon in the barbecue sauce and it'll be a home run. I like barbecue as well. The whole point, we were going to do a bunch of barbecue content, but the whiskey stuff is done so well. I don't know if I want to change it up. But I used to own a barbecue restaurant for 6 months before I realized owning a barbecue restaurant really sucks. Like, it sounds like a good time, but God, does it suck. Can your inaugural patron barrel pick be Detling? Rob, do you have any connection to Detling? Like, let me know. Anybody working for or owning Detling in the chat before I say what I'm thinking about saying. Only problem was Thursday. Dan and Julie stream at the same time. I didn't realize that. So I may, like I say, I may kick it to Wednesdays then. I didn't realize Dan and Julie were streaming right now. The Pingree. Okay, so you want tasting notes on this Pingree.
So good. It's really good.
Give me a little extra in there so I can get a good nose on it. Tim's still at the gym. Tim, I should be at the gym, man. So, hey, I'll drink one for you if you run an extra mile for me. All right, so, I mean, I get a little sweetness on the nose. Definitely some vanilla and oak. It's got kind of an interesting sharpness, definitely some oakiness, but it's not bitter oak. Like, bitter oak really turns me off. So it's got like a nice kind of a tobacco flavor throughout with a little bit of oakiness and a nice balanced sweetness. So it's actually a really well-balanced bourbon. The oakiness, it leaves me with an oaky finish, but not an unpleasant. Like, I'm not a guy that really likes a ton of oak. And I think this balances it really well. So overall, a really nice whiskey. I mean, I'm not putting it at like A level for me, like I got to have a bunch of bottles, but I think this is a solid, BB minus. Yeah. I'll cold call somebody. Yeah, well, the problem is, Rob, is that I just don't really like Detling. I just don't like it. Like, I literally, the $200 I spent today, 25% of it was on a bottle of Detling. We're doing a video we found this article. It's like the best whiskey in each state. So I bought a bottle of Detling, and I'd had one, and I didn't like it. I ended up making barbecue sauce out of it. I think I made a bourbon glaze to go on some baby back ribs because I didn't like it. Now, that was years ago. So I figured I'd buy another one. Maybe it's got better or my taste buds have gotten worse. I don't know. So I bought a bottle of Detling, and I still just didn't really care much for it. So I don't think I wouldn't mind like doing Clyde Mays, even though technically it's not made. It's distilled in, I think, Kentucky and bottled in Florida at this point. But I think they were building a distillery in Alabama. That would be really fun. But I want to do a barrel pick, but I got to find somebody to help me with it because I'm in Alabama and it's really difficult. I had been talking to someone on TikTok that does those for folks like me, but I can't find them. I can't, my messages on TikTok are impossible to freaking sort through. So I got to find somebody that can do the barrel pick and the logistics, and then we just kind of work out the details. Like time whiskey starts at 9 tonight. I'm going to be done. I'm going to go for about 20 more minutes. Me and the family, we're going to watch Top Gun Maverick tonight. So I feel like I'd just get an hour in. And you talking about 9 Central or Eastern? Eastern, I see that. Thursdays. Okay. Well, I'll be sure to avoid that. I don't want to step on their toes for sure. What's your favorite fruity bourbon? I mean, I love, obviously, Weller is very fruity to me. I love the fruit forward sweetness. So like a Weller Antique 107 is off the chart. Like that's just my guy right there. We're homies. Like we're that's my ride or die. Was Weller Antique 107. Scratch that, Rob says. Yeah, I can't put out something I don't approve of, and I haven't had a Detling I like. The recent release, I haven't, this is not a special release. This is just no green label, small batch Detling bourbon. Have you stepped up your rye game yet? Not a lot. Now, the short we posted on YouTube is a little old. That was a repurposed TikTok that we had posted, late last year, I think, or early this year. So I've stepped it up since I created that video for sure. But we haven't gone all in yet. But I got a lot of great recommendations. I'm going to be looking for them. But I have found several ryes since I created that I really liked. One of the best movies in the last 20 years. I haven't seen it. We went to the movies, and she really wanted to see Elvis, and she wanted to take her mother to see Elvis. So the one time I went to the movies, we went and saw Elvis, which I really liked that movie as well. That was a good one. So if you haven't seen Elvis, we enjoyed it thoroughly. But I'm looking forward to finally getting around to see this one. 9 Eastern, yeah, I see that now, Matthew. On the OWA 107, you can't beat that. Can't beat it with a stick, man. We still got 28 hanging out. I've got to get the minutes up. We got to get monetized here on YouTube. We've got a ton of views, and we're still not monetized, which is just weird, but they don't count. They don't count the short form videos. So we got to, live streams count. So it's fun. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me here for an hour or so. All right. So what are we going to do now? Oh, I'm not drinking that Hirsch. That's for sure. I think I'm going to switch back to a little bit of this Widow Jane 13 here. So the best movie in the last 20, one of the best movies in the last 20, that's hard selling. Todd, that's hard selling. So just to let y'all know, I don't think I've told you, if y'all are on the TikTok stream Wednesday, you probably already know this, but I had a liquor store reach out, and they want to send me bottles of whiskey in exchange for shout outs. And they just want me to shout them out in a video. And we shouted them out in one kind of as a test. But what I told them I wanted to do is instead of them sending me bottles and me giving them shout outs, I want them to send y'all bottles and me give them shout outs. So we're going to start. Now, they haven't signed the papers yet. They've agreed to all the terms, but I haven't physically got the papers signed yet. But I'm trying to, the first thing we're doing is we're giving away an entire set of Weller. Now, we're going to do it one per week. But we're going to give away a Weller Special Reserve. Then we're going to do a Weller Antique 107, then a 12-year, then a full proof, and then a single barrel and a CYPB. So one per week. We're going to create a video, and an entry is just to enter. You really just got to comment. You got to be following or subscribed, and then you got to comment on the video. Sign up for a newsletter. And then we're going to just pick a random comment throughout on the live stream, whatever day we live stream here. We're going to pick a comment, and that's going to be the winner. And we're going to have the liquor store send them the bottle. So all above board, all legal. Cheech, I appreciate it, man. Anything I can do to help get like I said, if y'all, if you see the long form videos, watching those really helps. I know the shorts are super easy to consume, but we try to put a lot of editing and effort into the long form videos as well. Let's see. Hold on. I'm trying to catch up. I'm a little behind on the comments. I mean, hopefully we get some Patreon members, but that'll come around. We'll get to that eventually. It's got to build. I understand. We got to keep giving value and finding benefits for those. Do I have a bottle I haven't opened and waiting for the right thing? Not really. I've got one bottle that is like unopenable. My first grandchild was born last year, and we are saving a bottle to open with her in 20 years now. She's 1. So we're going to, so I got a birthday bourbon, Old Forester birthday bourbon from last year. We are saving for her. That is pretty much it. Daniel run the tab on 10, run the stream on 10 tabs. Don't have TikTok? I mean, it's okay. You don't have to be on TikTok. You could just comment on the YouTube, right? Any comment on either platform, as long as you're subbed on YouTube and you're commenting on YouTube, you're fine. Like if you're subbed on YouTube and then you comment on TikTok, but you're not following me on TikTok, it doesn't really work, right? But we're going to check. So to check to make sure somebody, you know, we're going to pull a comment, check to make sure they're subbed, and then we're going to give the bottle away, pretty much. Daniel just joined the $5 tier, our first patron. Appreciate that, Daniel. That is awesome. I promise to spend that $5 as irresponsibly as I possibly can.
And yes, he does.
And I will. That's just a little bit to go toward a Lincoln. Marshall says, hey, smash like buttons need to be smashed. The like button has been very bad, and it needs just a little spanking. What's going on? Bourbon Kingdom in the house. What are we mixing with Pepsi tonight? I actually did do some, so the bourbon reviews, I did 2 bourbon reviews we filmed tonight. And so what we're doing now, and Bourbon Kingdom is the one that gave me the really impossible to find, like once in a lifetime opportunity to try bottles that I proceeded to mix with Pepsi. So Jill's hiding of it. She apologizes for me.
Sorry he did that.
Todd says I got 4 patrons so far. Hey. $10 closer to that Lincoln, Chrissy says. We're getting there. That's awesome. I mean, seriously, it's a little overwhelming to get this kind of support. It really is. Like, we're so new here. It's great to have everybody come hang out and support what we're trying to do. But the Pepsi, so the reviews we're trying it neat in a Glen. We're adding water, we're putting it over ice, and we're mixing it with Pepsi. So every bourbon review I do from now, the long form, the short form may cut some of that out, but the long form video, every bourbon review we do from now on will have me mix it with Pepsi, no matter how expensive the bottle.
I should be a part of this because you've only ever had me do it neat. I've never had bourbon any other way. So
you need to help me with the blinds.
You've always just I don't know anything but neat.
Okay.
I feel like that's weird.
Well, go get my Pepsi. It's on the bar in there. Okay.
You have Pepsi on the bar?
I was using it for the videos today.
But you realize that.
That I only give it to you neat. You're right.
I've only ever had bourbon neat.
Would you rather drink it with Pepsi?
Form of a...
Hopefully y'all can hear her.
No, probably not.
You've had it in an old-fashioned and you had it neat. Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Well, grab the Pepsi and we'll mix something.
I've never had over ice.
In honor of
water.
Bourbon Kingdom.
I've never had ice, water, none of that.
Here's what I found.
Pepsi.
Bourbon really sucks on ice.
Really?
I don't like it on ice.
Like
it tastes like hairspray once I pour it on ice.
Really?
Don't like it at all. A little water's good.
But not ice.
And Pepsi, it's hit or miss. Some good, some terrible. Over ice, I absolutely despise it. Like, I will not drink bourbon on ice.
Really?
Won't do it. Hate it. Yeah.
I'm intrigued now.
I know. Very intriguing. You going to get the Pepsi or no?
Sure.
Okay, let me catch up on this chat. 4 patrons. I can't believe that. Oh, yeah. Hey, Cheech is posting that Old Forester birthday bourbon. If y'all ain't signed up for that, do it. If you win, you owe me a handshake. That's all I ask for me and reminding you that you need to register. If you've already registered, you don't owe me anything. How can I tell which batch of Russell's 13 that I have? That is a very good question, Tommy. And Bourbon Kingdom is the guy in the chat that actually has the answer to that. He sent me the answer, but I don't have access to it to show it to you right now. But there is a laser code that has different letters on it, and that will tell you what the batch is. Daniel says they were already 3 ahead of him. Rob's ahead of him. Awesome. Bourbon Kingdom says it was great. And that's what's cool about when you do dumb things like this. When I do silly things, it's fun because it really weeds out the people I don't want to hang out with. Because if you're like, oh my God, he just mixed a really nice bottle with Pepsi, and that offends you, like, we're not going to have a good time anyway, because you take stuff way too serious. Hey, Chuck, honestly, the only reason I did Pepsi is because that's the only thing the hotel sold. So we used every Pepsi mixing it with different drinks while I was there that they had. They only had like 2 or 3, and we used them all to mix. But really, now though, it's like, do I use Coke? Or Pepsi's just much funnier to me for some reason. Just the fact that I mixed it with Pepsi. Like I mixed it. That's why I think it's funnier. First of all, Pepsi is a funnier word. And 2, you are mixing it with the inferior cola. Right. Which makes it even worse. I probably should mix it with RC or something.
RC's better.
Here, there you go. That's Widow Jane 13 and Pepsi right there, Jill.
I've had Widow Jane 13 before, so now I can
Cheers, Smoking Firewater. Appreciate you hanging out. But Bourbon Kingdom was a lot of fun. Had some great bottles, man. I've got to get a bottle of that Coy Hill. That's one of the best things I've had in a while. Cheech is a good mod. Cheech has got this down. This man is in here like, he's pimping out the Patreon. He's pumping the links. Like, Cheech knows how to do it.
Yeah.
Finished bourbon is good on ice. I may have tried that. I don't think any of the ones I tried today were finished.
That's not better with Pepsi.
Not better with Pepsi? I didn't say it was better with Pepsi. But is it good with Pepsi?
I'm not a Pepsi person.
So is it the Pepsi or is it just the fact that Pepsi and Pappy, like, don't put it past me. This is going to happen when I do a review of that.
You should, I don't know. I'm a Coke person.
Okay.
Pepsi's not my thing. So I'm not sure that's the thing to do.
Hey, Whiskey Central.
I love you, but no.
We can absolutely do a stream where we just try a bunch of stuff with Pepsi. You just let me know when. Hit me up.
Can we do Coke too?
Can we do, she would rather do Coke. I don't know. I think Pepsi is fun. Pepsi's not good. That's why it's funny.
Okay.
We'll do Coke. Let's do Coke. Apparently, Pepsi is taking it just a little bit too far. She's okay with me mixing really expensive whiskey with soda, but she draws the line at Pepsi. That is just, that is too far.
Bad necessarily.
Okay.
But it doesn't do anything for that.
No, it's not wonderful in this. No.
No.
What is my favorite barrel strength bottle? BTAC stuff, right? Like obviously William LaRue Weller is going to be barrel strength. So let's rule that out because that's just silly, right?
If you ever mix that with Pepsi,
Go grab me one.
No, you are not mixing that with Pepsi.
You go get it, I will.
No,
okay.
I'm not getting it.
On next stream, we're going to mix it with
who's
BTAC and Pepsi. For the next stream, I'm going to get it.
You're not going to get that down and mix it with Pepsi.
All right, I'm trying to catch up with the chat here. If you're just talking about like regular get barrel strength, I'm trying to think of stuff you can regularly get. Old Forester single barrel proof, probably one of my faves. I love that a lot. Won't say all bourbon is good with Pepsi, but Old Louisville, yes, Bourbon Kingdom. Now, Cherry Pepsi. We were mixing Old Louisville Whiskey Company, which I never had Old Louisville. This may be like, I don't know, that may be $1 million bottle. I have no freaking clue. But it was delicious with Cherry Pepsi. Like when a guy breaks out something you've never heard of, and he's got a whole bunch of stuff that you've never heard of, and he's got some stuff that you really want but you can't get. Like, dude had a backpack full of stuff that I just, the stuff I was trying to talk people out of trading me when we were in line? Yeah. He had all of those in his bag. And he had stuff I'd never heard of. So when you get to he's got all the stuff I want. And then he transcends that into stuff I didn't even know existed. Yeah. Like you figure the stuff you don't know exists going to be pretty good.
Right.
And it was with Cherry Pepsi.
You try it without Cherry Pepsi?
I did. It was delicious. Yeah. I mean, we're not just going to go in blind.
Right.
Hey, Quiddy. Oh, he took it to the next level. Cheerwine. Cheerwine and Stag Jr. would be really good, actually.
That here.
I'm sure we could find it.
Find that at? We've had that before, though. Where have we had that at?
Cheerwine, you used to be able to get it everywhere. It's just cheap. Yeah. Okay.
Was it here?
I don't know. Maybe. Cheech, I mean, I know, but I don't know, right? I'm new. Give me a break. I'm new. High rye bourbons mix well with colas. Okay, well, look here. Right here. Hirsch High rye. Right there. So we're going to do that. Josh was on board till we said Pepsi.
See?
So he draws the line of Pepsi too. He draws the line of Pepsi too.
I agree, Josh. Pepsi's not the thing. Where do you get Cheerwine at, though?
What do you mean?
Like, where have we gotten that before? We've had it.
Of course, Cheerwine used to be in every store everywhere. I think it was like distributed by RC Cola.
Was it?
Yeah, it's like Cheerwine's Dr. Pepper. It's like RC Cola's Dr. Pepper.
Salisbury, North Carolina.
Got to use Mountain Dew as a mixer since that's what it was made for? Maybe. Maybe. So for the Russell's 13 code, there you go. There you go. I'll just let you read that, but hopefully all that shows on. But there's codes there. Rare breed's good, but rare breed's not barrel proof. Like, it's high proof, but it's not like it's always the same proof if I'm not mistaken, which means they proof it down just a little bit to make it the same. So it is a high proof, but it's not barrel proof. But I do like rare breed. Leave Coke and Pepsi for Jack. I mean, Dustin, I normally do too, but for some reason or another, memes sometimes just happen. Like, sometimes we just do silly things for fun, and then they become a thing people ask us about. I'm not here at the house blending this stuff with Pepsi. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to film it and at least try to get some views out of it.
Yeah, normally it's Jack.
Yep. Do Mountain Dew. So getting them, and beet juice. Josh getting crazy. What's going on, Salty? Salty's in the house. Appreciate you hanging out. You saying Pepsi makes me so... Okay. Is it the way I say Pepsi? Am I saying Pepsi funny? Am I mispronouncing Pepsi? It's been a long day. I've been mispronouncing a lot of words. Rare breed rye and Coke. I bet that would be nice. Ginger ale over cola in your bourbon. That could be good. I don't know. Well, doggone.
What did you just have?
I wasn't paying attention. How much of that did I pour? Did I pour any in there? That Hirsch. It's either... They say high rye bourbons are good with cola. And that's actually pretty good. It kind of has a little bit of a ginger ale quality. So I know, like, now you got me thinking ginger ale would be pretty solid. How did this degrade into what we're talking about here? I don't know. I have no idea how it's degraded into this. It has just lost all structure and form, and we are just doing crazy stuff. But that's actually pretty good. Old Charter 10-year and Pepsi. Hey, we didn't know any better, right? We didn't know any better. If my nickname isn't Hoss, I'll take it. I'll go with it. Blanton's tasting notes. Hey, Chris, I appreciate it. Did you watch the long or the short? The long version's a little more in there, kind of fun. Jill must have liked it. She drank it all. That's pretty, like, somebody is much smarter. Somebody's much smarter than I am. Well, now you will. Now you will. You're going to have a little cola. I don't have a clean glass.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, we just mix Pepsi on the rest of it. Like Pepsi more than Coke?
No.
Nobody, no, yeah, that's not a common thing. Not a common thing.
We do not, in this house, like Pepsi.
Chuck, so when we were kids, we used to drink RC. And the reason we used to drink RC is not because we preferred RC. So I grew up in a very small town, extremely poor. And my grandmother would take us to the store. She had to go to the store and get her a pack of cigarettes. Much better. This is actually much better with Pepsi. This is improved with Pepsi. This one is not. So my grandmother would take me and my little brother to the store, and she'd send us in. She would stay in the car. She would send us in for a pack of cigarettes. And when I say send us in, I mean we're like 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. She would just send us into the store for a pack of cigarettes. So we'd go in the store and get her a pack of cigarettes. She'd give us $1. And so my brother and I, we could get like a blow pop and an RC, because the RCs were 35 cents and the blow pops were 15 with tax. So we could get both of those each for $1. Whereas if we got a Coke, that's all we could get was a Coke, because a Coke was 50 cents. So that's why we drank RC growing up. Cheerwine's still available in South Carolina. There you go.
Oh, wow. Is it?
Cookout has Cheerwine in their fountains.
Cookout does?
Yeah.
We had a Cookout.
Have a cool accent with that. I appreciate it. the more I drink, the heavier it gets. So we're going to not go too long here. It's 8 o'clock now. Did Jesse leave?
No.
He's still here? Okay. Buffalo Trace and ginger ale.
Wait,
Sounds pretty good.
Done.
No one liked Pepsi better than Coke. That's what I said, Todd. I don't know how that's a thing. I'm kind of like, it's fine. I'm okay with either one, but Coke's better.
Coke's better. You know.
Next year for Pours in the Park, 1 month cash, you and me carpool up. Yes, Daniel. We're gonna take the Lincoln. We're gonna take the Lincoln to Michigan, right? We're gonna break it up over 2 days because it's gonna be a long drive in a Lincoln. But I feel like I've made plans, Jill. I got to buy the Lincoln. Early times bottle and bond and ginger ale. Sounds interesting. Winston 100s. I don't even remember what she smoked. I'll be honest with you. I do not remember what she smoked. We didn't even know because we would just go into the store, and it's a small town. Rob, appreciate you hanging out. We would just go in and say, we need, we called her Nanny. That was my grandmother's, nickname. We just say, we need a pack of cigarettes for Nanny. And he just knew what she smoked. It was that type of store, right? Like when we were babies, probably had a dirt floor kind of thing. It was one of my dad walked in one day. I just remember he walked into the store and he picked up a lemon, and he just needed a lemon. He walked up to the counter, and the dude wanted he wanted like a quarter for the lemon. And my dad said, I'll flip you for it. And the guy said, okay. My dad had a quarter, flipped it, called heads. It landed on heads. He walked out with his quarter of the lemon. Like, it's that type of store, right? Like, just one of those weird things. MIO? Mixed bourbon? What is it? MIO? Don't know what that's at. Country Boy's back. Put my tractor on a trailer. I don't know, like, this guy. What kind of tractor is it?
Okay. The guy that goes slow on the road.
Well, I mean, I just like, my granddad had a cool old farm. Yeah.
Go slow on the
Country
road.
Boy is always doing country boy stuff. 1 month cast and I are downhill in Mobile. They're in Mobile, so y'all could just come up here. Y'all could park your cars here. We take the Lincoln right on up. So that would be awesome, man. Let's do it. Let's do it. Be a bourbon pimp in that Lincoln.
Oh my gosh. This is insane.
It's not insane. It's brilliant.
It's insane.
A little bit, which
Okay.
makes it brilliant.
Look, I'll tell you what.
Okay.
You buy the Lincoln,
All right.
and we go pick Mama Todd up.
I don't even know who this is.
I love her. She's amazing.
So we're going to go kidnap somebody in
No,
a
we're not
Lincoln.
gonna kidnap
Does she
her.
know we're coming?
No.
Does she know who you
She
are?
likes bourbon.
Does she like Lincolns?
I don't
Does she
know.
like random people kidnapping her in Lincolns? There's plenty of trunk space for her.
Absolutely not. You don't do that. You have to say, hey, I'm going to come pick you up.
I'll tell you what.
You don't kidnap anybody.
I buy the Lincoln any month you want.
Oh.
One time. Trip to the beach in the Lincoln. On me.
Just one time? No.
You get once. Like, I can't.
Once a
It's
month.
not infinity.
Yes, infinity.
It's not that expensive of a Lincoln, Jill.
You can't do that. That's not fair.
Drink RC in Shasta. Exactly. Farm track 435. Don't know much about farm tracks. Swing through Pittsburgh. That's a little out of the way to Michigan, man. It was already a long drive. Like, you might be able to, I don't know, we might be able to meet at like a Buc-ee's in between or something, right? Wife could be sitting pretty in that Lincoln. You would be like a princess in that Lincoln.
I've been eating your Buc-ee's, whatever you got. What'd you
The
get?
beaver nuggets. You like them?
Oh my gosh.
You like those? I was a little iffy. I liked them, but they just kind of,
Not iffy.
they just got like a sugar varnish on them, which was a little
Not
weird.
iffy at all. They're
She likes the beaver nuggets.
amazing, and I should never have them again.
So,
Okay?
Jill has been negative Nelly on the Lincoln all day today because
That's
I've been
not
talking about it.
true.
So I've been calling her John Wilkes Booth all day. I've been calling her John Wilkes.
Negative
She's been
Nelly.
trying to kill the Lincoln all day.
You wrong for that. You wrong.
I know. Gas prices better. No, Daniel. Sometimes you just got to YOLO, man.
Hey, thank you, Daniel.
It's not that bad. Like, let's not be look, I got 4 patrons at this point, okay? That's in that Lincoln. 4 patrons are going to get me at least 9 miles, okay? And all I need to do is fund the rest of it.
You're so crazy.
Uncle Nate in Connecticut.
Hey, Uncle Nate.
Appreciate you hanging out, Nate. You got here just in time, though. We're about to call it. I'm about to go watch some Top Gun.
Uncle Nate's my favorite.
Mr. Salty will do whatever Mr. Salty can do to convince you
to me.
Like, realistically, I just need to say we're going to do it. Like, she knows I'm a little iffy on the spending the money on the Lincoln, and is it the right one if I'm going to spend the money on it, and am I getting the best deal? And so she is voicing her opinion. Once I say we're going to do it, because that's kind of how it works. Like, if you're really, like, my desire to have it just has to outweigh her desire for me to not have it. That's usually how we make all decisions. If she really wants something and I kind of don't want her to have it, she's going to get it. So we just got to, she's trying to get me to not really want it at this point.
I'll swap a trip for your Lincoln, and we'll be good to go.
You talking about the trip we already took that cost just as much as the Lincoln?
Nope, that was in the past. We ain't talking about that one. We're talking about the future trip that I want to take, and we'll swap.
So what you're saying is this money would not come out of my account at all.
For what?
The Lincoln.
I mean, we got an account that has money. If you want to spend it, we'll spend it.
So I got to buy the Lincoln, but then
No,
the savings is going to buy the trip. Is that what I'm saying?
Look, we can buy the Lincoln and we can go on the trip. We just can't get a garage.
Oof. How you killing me?
We can't do a bathroom reno right now.
Tuning in from Woodstock, Georgia.
We'll figure it out.
I already made the plan. Well, Ryan, so realistically, the only reason it's still a source of debate is the guy was out of town, and I'm waiting on him. Sunday, he's going to be back with the car. He said he's taking it on some show or cruise in or something, and he's supposed to send me some pictures. So I just don't have the info I need to even make a decision one way or another right now. So I am waiting on that. Now, there's a chance it sells. There's a chance he takes it to the show and puts a for sale sign in it and somebody buys it. That's fine. Such is life. There are no more for sale right now Lincolns that I really want in a price range I'm comfortable with, so that would kill it for a time being until I found another one. But I'm hoping he sends me the stuff and it's wonderful and we decide to do it. Nate says hello.
Hello, Nate.
Tim says he cut across Tennessee. We need to make these plans. I hear there's a thing in...
I almost wanted a trip to see Kara and Nate, but I didn't.
There's a thing in Nashville.
I could have went to Tennessee.
You could have went to Tennessee and saw your YouTuber folks that you like.
They didn't choose me, so.
Nobody likes them.
Nobody likes me, apparently.
It's random, babe.
I know.
It's not. Don't take it personally.
I didn't.
Mr. Salty says you sound like an awesome woman.
Aw,
She is. It's the only way I could put up with her for 24 years. Oh, CH is cutting right to my heart here, CH. What are you doing? Sell some of my allocated bottles.
Nope. Can't do that.
That's not cool.
I'll give you my money before you do that.
She is an awesome woman. Yeah, Matthew. Matthew's reminding me that we are 7 minutes over and Tim is done. I don't know. Matthew's trying to keep me safe so that you don't get mad at me so that I can buy the Lincoln, or Matthew is tired of moderating this particular live stream. One of those two. Either way, it's cool. It's cool. Total Wine puts out E.H. Taylor after 10 a.m., a few bottles every hour. Yeah, I mean, depends on how long you got to wait. It's a great bottle. And if you're in line with other cool bourbon folks, definitely talk to the folks in line in front of you. If I had to wait a couple of hours for an E.H. Taylor, a few hours for an E.H. Taylor, and I'm doing it with other bourbon folks, I'd do that. I mean, realistically, just hanging out with other bourbon folks is worth a few hours of my time if I've got it, and then I get an E.H. Taylor at the end of it. What we're looking at, the Lincoln that I'm trying to buy is a 1970 Lincoln Town Car. So it's a Continental Town. It's the big one. It's not the Mark series. It's got the Cord-style grill. It's a coupe. It is just a really silly big car, but a lot of fun. CH is kidding. I get you, man. I'm just hanging out. 24 years. Yeah, Country Boy. 24 years a couple of days ago now. Of marriage, yes. Not been married 24 years, 2 days ago? 3 days ago?
So.
Kyle's excited about the Lincoln. I talked to Grease today, and the information of Whiskey Weekend is coming out soon, which is another event that's supposedly happening in Nashville area here at some point. Don't really know, but we'll do that. And so we need a Lincoln to do it though. We got to have a car. We can't show up without the Lincoln, Jill. People are going to be so disappointed if I show up in a Toyota pickup truck. I waited 43 hours for the Russell's Reserve 13 and Weller Foolproof. But yeah, that was dumb. That was dumb. I'll tell you that whole story sometime, but that was a little dumb.
But it was a memory.
Don't sell them, do a scavenger hunt. There you go. Do a scavenger hunt. It was a lot of fun. I'll be honest with you. The 43 hours was a lot of fun. It was
have a bad time, so.
No, it was a lot of fun.
If we're okay with it, then who cares?
Cheech, the one I could sleep. I don't know if I could sleep in it, but most normal people could. All right, guys, we're going to call this one. I appreciate everybody hanging out. I'm going to go watch Top Gun. I just wanted to get a stream in. I will not be streaming tomorrow. Unfortunately, I'm going to be out of town again. We are trying to get on the regular. Like I said, if Thursday we might do early. I know somebody said that some other folks were streaming here shortly, so we might just move it to Wednesdays and me just do a stream on TikTok and then move over here and keep that rhythm going. So, see, Kyle says it'd be upset if we came in a Camry.
We don't have a Camry. We have a Toyota.
It's the Toyota. A Camry is a Toyota, but yeah, I mean I got a Tundra, but I feel like we need a Lincoln.
Highlander. We have a Super B.
She's gonna go through the list of cars. I don't want to say I really need y'all on my side. And I was about to end the stream, but I really need y'all on my side. So we won't really go down the fact that I already own like 5 or 6 cars. We won't. That paints me.
Tundra, a Highlander, a 1963 Chevrolet Impala. Like, come on, people.
See, it paints me in a negative light, and I was not gonna give this information out.
Yeah. Well, that's what we got, peeps.
March-ish, whiskey weekend in March-ish.
March-ish.
Okay, so that'd be fun. I need it I gotta have it. So, all right, we will talk to all of y'all later. I appreciate y'all joining, and we'll catch up with y'all soon.